Guys, yeah, it wasn't doing that before. Hey guys, we are going live. Here we go.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
It sure is. Welcome everyone. It's 5 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday, October 18th. Wow, so much going on, so much to cover, so much to talk about. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 47 years on the radio. And we've got so much to talk about. The Al Smith dinner. Oh, man. Trump might bring back that Washington Correspondents' Dinner thing in his second term. He was on fire. It was like watching one of those Dean Martin roasts. I remember those old Dean Martin roasts? Those are hilarious. I mean, that was one of the most... He was roasting everyone. We're going to go through that, play some of the sound bites, and just have a good old time. But I want to start with a couple of other things. We will get into the Al Smith dinner, no doubt about it. Real Clear Politics, the Real Clear Politics average. This is huge. I may start the top of every hour with this today. I don't know. I got to cover this at least once an hour. Maybe I'll start every hour with it. The Real Clear Politics average is now giving President Trump the lead in every single battleground state. You heard me right. President Trump is now leading, according to the Real Clear Politics average, in every battleground state. They're giving him Michigan. And right now, the Electoral College vote count, according to the Real Clear Politics projection map, remember you need 270 to win, is 312 for President Trump and 226 for Kamala, which is just amazing. I mean, this is just a commanding lead for President Trump. And, I mean, this is really good news. The Trump miracle continues. I mean, you know, it's. By the way, did you guys know that Letitia James not only was there last night, she was sitting up at the top, not too far behind President Trump, to his right, and when he came out, she stood and applauded him. Letitia James, yeah, that's right. Yeah, does she normally stand and applaud for these criminal masterminds? I don't think so. Yeah, so the Real Clear Politics average has President Trump leading in every single battleground state. Well, and I'm going to go through them right now, and I think I will do this at the top of each hour. I think this needs to be shared. The Al Smith, we will get to all of that. And, oh yeah, it's Friday, open phones, which we call Open Maga Mike Friday. And on Open Maga Mike Friday, the show prep is up to you guys, okay? Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. Okay, so Real Clear Politics. Remember, President Trump is leading in every single battleground state, according to the Real Clear Politics average. And for those that don't know, let me explain the Real Clear Politics average just real quick, because I know a lot of you know, but some may not. Real Clear Politics puts together all the polls for whatever their conclusion's going to be on, and the result they give you is just an average of all the polls together. Okay, that's why it's the Real Clear Politics average. In the state of Arizona, this is amazing. President Trump, according to the Real Clear Politics average, is now leading in the state of Arizona by 1.4 points against Kamala Harris. That's amazing. In Nevada, Trump is leading by half a point. In Wisconsin, Trump is leading by 0.1. In the state of Michigan, President Trump is leading by 0.9. In the state of Pennsylvania, Real Clear Politics average has President Trump leading by half a point. In North Carolina, President Trump is leading by a point. And in the state of Georgia, remember somebody called me the other day, I can't remember, one of these liberal listeners called up the other day and talked about, the early voting in Georgia. He was all excited. In the state of Georgia, President Trump is leading by 0.9. Okay? I mean, this is every single battleground state. And I know what some desperate Democrats will say. They'll say, yeah, but he's only like 0.1 ahead or half a point in that one. The point is, he's ahead in all of them, in all the battleground states, and he was not ahead in all of the battleground states the last time this polling was done. In fact, I went over this, I think yesterday I went over the Electoral College, and we've had a shift since then. So that is huge, people, and what you've always got to look for with these things is the trend, and the trend is all in favor of Donald Trump. So you got to ask yourself, why is that? Why is that? You know, and the answer is many different reasons. A lot of it is the economy. People cannot afford food. People cannot afford to fill up their gas tank, right? I mean, this is it. You know, in my car, you know, my wife's car, I'm not doing this in, but in my car, I haven't had to buy gas now for a couple weeks because I've got all my leftover hurricane gas. I'll fill my car up at home over the weekend with the last couple of 5-gallon drums I have of my Hurricane Milton generator fuel that I haven't had to use. But it's, you know, gas is expensive. That's a big part of it. Maybe that's the biggest part, maybe it's not. Another big part, of course, is the massive crime wave that's going on nationwide because of Kamala's dreamers that she's bringing across the border that are raping and killing our women and poisoning our people with deadly fentanyl and other things. I mean, that's another reason. Another reason is the lawfare. Everyone knows that. Another reason are the multiple times that the establishment, the deep state, and the never-Trumpers have tried to kill President Trump in these multiple assassination attempts. Those are other reasons. So there's a lot of reasons. It's not any single reason at all as to why Trump's doing so well, but without question, it is the Trump miracle. I mean, for President Trump to be leading like this, with everything they have done to this man over all these years and attempted to do over all these years, is just spectacular and divine. I mean, in the intervention that would have to be involved in overcoming this. I mean, think about it. That crooked Letitia James in New York stood up and applauded, gave Donald Trump a standing ovation when he walked into the Al Smith dinner. I got news for you. If he were what they say they were, would she have done that? You know, if I was at some event and Hitler walked in, I wouldn't sit next to him like Charles Schumer did, right? They say he's a threat to democracy. He's Hitler. If that is true, why was Chuck Schumer sitting next to Hitler all night, last night? If all these things are true, if he's such an outlaw, an organized criminal like some cartel guy, why was Letitia James, who's been prosecuting him in these absurd cases, giving him a standing ovation, sitting behind him last night, and then sat there for the whole event? Exactly. So it's absolutely amazing. We're going to take our first break. Oh, man. Are you guys as excited as I am? How could you not be? This is absolutely spectacular and amazing. Now, if you've not already done it, get your Christmas shopping done at MyPillow.com. The lowest prices on top MyPillow products. Right now, the MyPillow itself is just $14.88 with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. I mean, at that price, we're in stocking stuff for price mode here, but those are great gifts. You know, if you have employees that you buy gifts for, get them the gift of My Pillows. You know, we have a lot of people in the audience that are bosses, business owners, and they buy robes, slippers, pillows, sheets, and towels for their employees. They make great Christmas gifts for your employees. But whoever is on your gift-giving list, you can never go wrong with the gift of a My Pillow. Yeah, the standard My Pillow, the original My Pillow, just $14.88 with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can use our promo code KANE on all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones I talk about, and it's free shipping site-wide on orders over $75 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone toll free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be right back. Hold on, guys. So, well, but without question, it is the Trump miracle. I mean, for President Trump, you know, if you... I'm just doing a sound check, guys. All right. Oh, this is exciting, guys. This is as exciting as it gets. Oh, I forgot. All right, let's go.
Good to your weekend.
What that is Mike does the weather, right? But I have a really good program to process audio. It's better than the one they have at the radio station. Makes it sound better. So every day, when he does the weather, I process it for him and then send it to him before the bottom of the hour report. He just texts it to me, and then I process it and send it back. There we go. All right, I just sent it. All right, we're good to go, guys. We'll be back right after this.
39 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the Bus Driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental.
Folks who can't drive at night.
4633 954 922 4633.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All righty, we are back 18 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. All right. So Kamala Harris could not be bothered to go to the Al Smith dinner. She did some skit that she thought was funny with, who was that? Molly Shannon? I forgot about Molly Shannon. She probably forgot about herself. She's been so out of the mix. I mean, they couldn't get a real celebrity. Well, why was she too busy to go to the Al Smith dinner? She's certainly not doing her job as the border czarina. You know, the sheriff up in Orlando did a big arrest, a big human trafficking arrest. As always, they got a Disney employee. Oh, yeah, there's always at least one Disney employee when they do their sex trafficking prostitution stings. They arrested 157, but a huge chunk of them are illegals. Kamala's dreamers. In fact, 25 of the sex traffickers arrested in Orlando are Kamala Harris dreamers, her illegals. And the sheriff up there is his name is Sheriff Grady Judd. He's a good guy. I don't know if he's a Republican or a Democrat. He talks like a Republican. And I want to play you a little bit of Sheriff Grady's press conference. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll get to the phones, and it is open phones. It is Friday. And the reason I want to share this is, Kamala Harris couldn't be bothered to go to the Al Smith dinner. She couldn't be bothered to protect the border, all that stuff, even though she's supposed to as vice president even. You don't have to be the border czarina to do it. You know, the administration, you take an oath to protect this country from enemies, foreign or domestic. We're being invaded by killers and sex traffickers. But the sheriff had a press conference. 25 illegals and a Disney employee among those arrested. And prostitution is sex trafficking. And he details what's going on here. And I think you all need to hear what kind of lowlife Kamala Harris is, that she allows this to continue. Listen, this is the sheriff in Orlando about this human trafficking arrest. 25 of them illegals, one of them a Disney employee.
First, I want you to see this chart. 25 illegal immigrants were arrested in this operation. They were from Venezuela, Cuba, Colombia, Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico. 16% of these total arrests were people who should not even have been in this country, but they were here. And they were here because we have a federal government that enabled these criminals to come into the country. And
by the way, that means Kamala Harris,
who should not even have been in this country, but they were here. And they were here because we have a federal government that enabled these criminals to come into the country and then treated them very well after the criminals came here illegally. So let me share a story with you, and then I'm going to read a quote for you and then let you see a video.
Okay, now this is Sheriff Grady Judd. He's the Polk County Sheriff. He's involved in this. And he's going to go through a little bit about what these Kamala Dreamers are doing and what their victims are going through.
The prostitutes that came here, several of them had to pay off a coyote debt. Some of them said, hey, we did it because it was easy money. Others said, well, we came here and we were illegal, we couldn't get employment, so we turned to prostitution. Some of them said, we were threatened and our family was threatened if we did not prostitute for the coyotes or for the human traffickers. So I'm going to tell you one story about one of our suspects, Maria, and that's not her real name. She's from Venezuela. She made a conscious decision to come to this country to commit crime. She flew into Mexico from Venezuela. She walked across from Juarez, Mexico, into El Paso, Texas, with her one-year-old child, where she was greeted by the Border Patrol. Did you hear what I said? She was greeted by the Border Patrol.
Oh, my goodness.
There was no sneaking. She flew in, she got here, she simply walked across.
It's like if you go to Hawaii, they got the hula girls putting the lays on you at the airport. That's basically what he's saying Border Patrol's doing under Kamala Harris.
The open border. There is no border security at the southern border. Zero. It doesn't exist. So when she was greeted, and you'll understand why we use that term in a minute, you'll understand that she went to the Border Patrol processing, where in one day she completed the processing and was released to a facility, a holding facility, a housing facility for immigrants. She said, I was given a DNA test to make sure that my DNA matched my child's. He was given a DEA test to make sure he was really my child. She said, once that occurred, they set me down and they told me all about the benefits that I would get in the United States. She said I was eligible and I had to fill out these forms so that I could get those benefits. She said, so I fill forms out for Medicaid, for SNAP, which is money for food. She said I was given free travel from the border to Chicago. When I got to Chicago, I couldn't find gainful employment there, so I thought, what the heck? I'll go to Florida. And then I got to fly to Florida.
Wow.
She was giving free housing.
By the way, this is all by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Housing. All because the United States paid for that. That's right, you, the taxpayers, got to pay for that. So this was...
I mean, how does that work? You're an illegal? Do they have some travel? We do all... we've got Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. He handles our cruises, right? You call him up. He sets everything up. Do they have some illegal travel agency where you call up and say, well, now I want to go to Florida. I want to leave Chicago. And they fly you and set you up on a Florida vacation? That's what it sounds like.
It's all simply walking across the border. She said it was unbelievable to me. But let me read her quote, because understand, she walked across the border. This was not a stealthful act. And then they gave her free travel, free housing, free food, free medical care. All why people from the hurricane are still waiting for help. Let me read in English, and then we're going to play the video clip she agreed to do if we'd use another name. When I passed through immigration, they sat me down and explained to me all the benefits I was eligible for. I was told I could apply for government assistance. I could apply for health medical insurance for my son, and I could apply for food assistance. After I finished talking to immigration, a short time passed until a DNA test was done on me and my son to prove that he was my son. Then they set me down with other people who were also waiting and had already qualified to be released. Then they explained to us that the documents we had in our hands were our personal identification in the United States, and we could use the documents to travel on buses and airplanes. They also explained to us that we could use those documents to apply for our documents to become legal here. And after that, after they explained all of the benefits, they said, "Welcome to the United States of North America." And from there, they transported us to a refugee camp. And all of this occurred in one day. So welcome to the United States. This is someone who just crossed the border illegally and to commit crime. And they were not only welcome to the United States, but then they were giving all kinds of benefits.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, and that really puts a face on what Kamala and Biden are doing. It looks like the prostitution was just for some extra spending dough, because she had free housing, free food, free health care for herself and her child. And hey, she wanted to go on a Florida vacation, and they even flew her to Florida. You kidding me? That's what's going on here. I'd like to hear one of those Democrats I heard from yesterday call in and tell me they approve of this, because that's what Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are doing. And she's going to continue this and amp it up if, God help us, she were to win. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back. Wow. Pretty crazy, huh, guys? Pretty crazy. How does that not piss you off? How could that not piss you off? It's disgusting, isn't it? It sure is.
And right now it's 71 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 80 degrees with cloudy skies as we start the day and windy
If you're on hold, hang in there.
Go throughout the whole day into the night. So make sure you dress accordingly, stay hydrated, and have a wonderful start to your weekend.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
There's a serious collision and the turnpike is shut down. This traffic report sponsored by Progressive Insurance. There's a serious collision with an investigation and the turnpike is shut down heading southbound approaching the Kenansville Road overpass. Traffic is being diverted through there. And on the turnpike at the Beeline Highway, there's some major road work going on and reconstruction. Progressive Insurance offers a great price and round the clock.
That's unbelievable, guys. That whole story.
Times when you could save money and get something great. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
Isn't it? I mean, it's just nuts.
That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Listen to the PBKC Picks podcast live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah, guys. I put in the community section here on my YouTube channel my my C-SPAN live appearance, taking live calls from liberal jerks. It was hilarious. And if you, that was in my living room at my house where I did that from. It is open phones. So if you're in the community, if you go in the community section, you'll see the link to that video.
Jimmy Fallon November 15th and 16th, and Petty Nicks November 22nd. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. No matter where you're located in the state of Florida, for expert help this open enrollment period. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Yeah, and I finally, and this is the first week with my new setup here, and I think I've got the hang of it now. It took me a couple days to get used to it, because I got to, you know, it's like extra stuff I got to do. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is our bottom of the hour break.
Diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza.
And don't forget, I'll be doing some streams over the weekend, guys. I might do some taking calls over the weekend too. Would you?
4377, or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too: residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com. Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote.
We're back right after this.
954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Celebrating.
All right, 35 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Remember, I know it's pretty shocking stuff, isn't it? That's staying in. Of course, there was only one Disney employee this time busted in the prostitution sting. Only one. That's pretty good for Disney. Just having one busted. Now, again, of course, this is open phones. I am going to get into the Al Smith dinner and play clips as the show goes on. Don't worry, it's good stuff. President Trump was on fire last night, roasting Schumer and everyone else. But it is open phones, open Maga Mike Friday, where the show prep is up to you guys and the listening audience. Okay, so I'm going to go to the phones now. Our number, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. I hope you have a great weekend before I get started.
Why? Are you gonna mess up my weekend with your call?
No.
Oh, okay.
You made my blood boil with Grady Judd. I mean, for people outside of Florida that don't know him, he's the best sheriff in the United States. He's a no-nonsense guy.
He's like Sheriff Nick Navarro we used to have years ago in Broward. Remember Sheriff Nick Navarro?
Yes, I do. And for people that listen to what he said, that that's nothing but the truth. He doesn't make stuff up. He tells you just the way it is, whether you like to hear it or not. And in other words, the people that are in power right now, Kamala and this brain dead president, they have really sabotaged the United States with this, and they are traitors to our country. That's my opinion. Now. I wanted to talk about the dinner. I watched the whole thing. I didn't see clips. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, of course I did. No, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it was President Trump. I never seen him like this in my life. Okay, he tried to be funny, but at the same time, he told everyone this is not a funny time in this country. He was the most serious, and he looked sort of down because he sees what's happening to the United States of America. And the place was silent because he basically called all of these people out.
To their face, he roasted them. You know, I'll tell you this, okay? This is just a rule of comedy. I know a little bit about comedy. I do work in the entertainment industry, you know, radio and stuff. For a joke to be truly funny, there has to be some truth to it for it to be funny. And you know, it was serious and dark humor, but he was on fire every step of the way last night. And there are two things I'd like to hear your comment on. I'll let you get to all your stuff, Richie. Don't worry, I'm here till 9. This threat to democracy and El Chapo-like criminal. Here we have Letitia James sitting behind him, gave him a standing ovation when he came in, and Schumer sat next to him during the whole event. Would you sit next to El Chapo or Hitler, who's a threat to American democracy? If these things were really true, I would walk out. And I think any normal person, I wouldn't sit there with El Chapo or Hitler.
No, it shows you they're phonies. And you know who Schumer's a very big phony, because I didn't know that President Trump wrote him a big check when he was running for his first office. And you know, look what Schumer does to him. This man has got stabbed. The same thing, you know, he's gotten stabbed in the back so many times. Everyone says how many times he screwed people. He has been stabbed in the back over and over again. He tries as hard as he can, and he looked so disgusted with that group of people yesterday. He actually said, I was sent here to do humor, and this is not a setting. Our country is in trouble. And he is so, and he was on Patrick David. I don't know if you know that yet.
You know, people will think I'm sucking up to Patrick Bet David to try to get on that show. I would like to be a guest on Patrick Bet David's show, but that's not what that interview he did with President Trump was incredible. And Patrick Bet David, because he's like a big millionaire kind of business guy, he asked some questions and showed some things that were amazing. He was showing the interest rates. Because Obama's been saying, that was my economy. Trump was my economy. My economy. The interest rates, when Obama was president, the Fed lowered them to zero. When Trump came in, they raised them, you know, to screw them. And then when Biden came in, they dropped them at first. Now they're back up. But Obama did nothing. They just had zero interest rates to give the first black president a great economy for the books.
The whole thing, it's disgusting.
I never heard anybody point that out before, and he showed a chart on the screen, Patrick Bet David the Trump, when he did it. It was amazing.
You know, he's changing. You had a video of where he bought that bank. He's bought a whole airplane hangar. And
I know.
Election night, yeah. So he's.
I know.
It's a great thing, but I got to tell you, I've never seen President Trump like this, because he actually tried to be funny, and then he turns it around and he said, "I just can't do this. It's too serious of a time." And they were silent. And at the end, a few in the back booed him. He even talked about de Blasio, and he says, "I don't give a,"
Yeah, I heard that.
He called him right out.
And what he said about the mayor, well, I knew you're going to get indicted. It was coming. You're a critical man. I mean, and everybody laughed. I mean, it's true. It's all true.
You know who looked uncomfortable? The prosecutor sitting back there.
What, Letitia? Letitia James?
I'm very uncomfortable with this. And Kamala Harris, by the way, I mean, she for her not to show up, like President Trump said, it's a disgrace. And when he said that, everyone was shut their mouth. They're all in love with her, and that whole group of people.
It is New York. It is New York.
Those people sitting there love her, and I think they thought it was out of bounds for him to say it was total disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
It was. She's garbage, man.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right, Richie. Take care. Appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I've got a couple things that I wanted to congratulate you on that new look on the.
Oh, and yeah, those of you that don't watch me on YouTube, my daughter did it, when she was in town. My daughter's nickname in our family is Tech Support. That's what we call her, Tech Support, because she does all the tech stuff for everyone in the family. And she set me up with a new setup here when I'm live streaming on YouTube on the radio, which is pretty good, pretty cool.
It's a nice look, but when you bring up the electoral map of the USA,
mm-hmm.
it kind of looks like a flag with the red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
It's impressive to see all the red, and...
Well, yeah, I'm going to open up the top of every hour today, like I did at 6. Real Clear Politics Average has given Trump the lead in every single battleground state, all of them now. He's leading in every battleground state. This is insane. This is amazing. It's beautiful.
It might be kind of corny, but that kind of looks like the MAGA flag with so many states.
Yeah.
To Trump, but I really like your new look. It's really...
Well, I appreciate it. Well, take care, Montana Mark. Take care. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
Those polls you read earlier track with what Nate Silver's been saying for the last month or so. He's been saying that Trump's going to win the electoral college by at least 12 points, so, I mean, you're right, this is a Trump miracle.
Oh, absolutely. You see everything he's gone through and where he's at. Hey, Mike, you're right on the money. Thanks for the call. I want to tell everybody about Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. I'm going to be seeing Dr. Appleton either today or tomorrow, depending on my schedule. It might be today when I get off the air. I don't know. It doesn't matter if it's today, tomorrow, because appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are always welcome with Dr. Appleton, because Dr. Appleton understands that when you're in pain, you need help, you need relief, you need it now. And I'm in pretty bad pain. I just got a busy schedule this week. So I've really been suffering all week from my most recent accident. And I'm in a lot of pain right now. But I know when I go see Dr. Appleton, my pain will go away. The laser away pain treatment, the reason it works is it repairs the damage that's causing the pain. Remember, hey, listen, this is basic biology. Pain is a signal from your body that something's damaged. And Dr. Appleton, with his laser away pain treatment, repairs the damage that's causing the pain. And this will be the 6th time that, I know because he's rid me of pain 5 times, this will be the 6th time Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain. It's amazing. So give him a call. I don't know if I'll be there today or tomorrow, but I'll be there because I'm in a lot of pain. I'm suffering. I really am. But, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. Stop living with pain. You know, pain is not a part of growing old. I used to think it was until I met Dr. Appleton, and he treated me that first time with his laser away pain treatment. 954-973-0710 is his number. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Go see Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloman's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloman's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security.
Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for Christmas. The standard MyPillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88. And free shipping on orders over $75. So go to MyPillow.com right now and use our promo code Kane at checkout, KANE, and get the standard MyPillow for just $14.88. The lowest price ever. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. Talk about amazing kielbasa. Crocastelli.
I'm going to start going through the Al Smith dinner stuff when we get back.
Bacons, Polish cheeses, ham and pork loins, even Polish hot dogs. Crocastelli has such amazing homemade foods like goulash, pork and bacon, homemade soups, and more. You have to check out Crocastelli. The bakery is out of this world. Stop by for delicious Polish food. CrocastelliFL.com for directions or call 954-722-8006.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is.
All right, we are back 48 minutes after the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to start getting into some of the Al Smith dinner stuff, though. We'll never get through it. 'Cause it was just, Trump at the Al Smith dinner was at his best last night. And this clip in particular, I love this one. This is him talking about Tim Walz. This is a good one. But they're all good, but and it's hard for me to pick my favorite. And the clips I play of Trump throughout today's show at the Al Smith dinner are in no particular order. If I was trying to put them in an order of funny, I don't know, maybe the Schumer one might be. It's hard. It would be impossible to put them in an order because they're all so great.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
Oh, my goodness.
The stupid show, The View, is so bad now that the other day I was watching it and thinking to myself, you know what? They really need to bring Rosie O'Donnell back. That show is bad. Those people are bad.
Yeah, that's true about Tim Walz. I must say, he was just on fire last night. Oh, my goodness. I like when he said, Tim Walz is not here tonight, but you'll say that he was. Oh, it was just incredible stuff. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
AC, Indiana.
What's your name? Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
AC from Indiana.
Oh, hey, AC, what's up?
Hey, I just, I had to shut it off as soon as they did that SNL clip. I mean, ask yourself this. if it would have been the other way around and Pamela showed Trump, if you think they would have gone out of their way to make a little skit to show for her? And that's all I wanted to say, Brian.
Okay. Well, that, listen, it's open phones. You can talk about anything you want. But I don't like when people call in, okay, I just want to say this and hang up. We want to try to have a little discussion about what you said, okay? I mean, the thing with, I'm glad that they played that skit. First off, it shows she can't get a real celebrity. Molly Shannon, I'm going to say Molly Shannon's not funny, but I didn't get that reference she made at the end. I heard them talking about it on the news this morning. It's some reference to maybe a movie she was in the 90s. I was reading that yesterday that Jimmy Fallon's ratings are down 50% and they're about to fire him. And the reason it's believed that his ratings are so low, Jimmy Fallon, is because all he does is bash Trump. He's become political. And, Trump has always been popular. This idea that he's not, there's been points where he's not been popular is just some mainstream media lie and propaganda. But Jimmy Fallon is definitely going off the air for his bashing of Trump. I mean, this guy is hilarious, Donald Trump, last night. This is just beautiful stuff. Let me play another clip. I'm glad, though, that Kamala did the recorded thing. It highlighted that she wasn't there. And everyone is going to say the same thing today. Everyone. The last time a candidate didn't go to the Al Smith dinner was Walter Mondale, and he lost 49 of the 50 states. That's going to be said 1 million times today on different media outlets. That's a good thing. So the fact that she made that recording that they played highlights it. They have to comment on it and point out that she wasn't there, and 1 million times that'll be said today, somewhere in America. On whether it's on the radio, TV, a podcast, people will be saying that all day and weekend because it's Friday. So no, I'm glad she made that video with Molly Shannon. Okay, here's Trump again. I think this is the Schumer clip.
Coming in very, very strong a certain way. I won't tell you what way that is, but Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't it look glum? It looks glum.
And President Trump there, what he did, as he's about to humiliate Schumer, he was really sticking it to Schumer. Schumer's sitting right next to Donald Trump, who Schumer believes is going to end democracy as we know it. And not only is he pointing out how depressed he looks because the Democrats are getting whooped, he put his hand on Schumer's shoulder and rubbed his back a little bit and massaged his shoulder. He touched him. He violated his space. It was just to further the humiliation. As it's a power move. He has power over him. And Letitia James, by the way, was in the row behind Trump to Trump's right. She's easy to tell. She's the obese African-American woman.
Coming in very, very strong a certain way. I won't tell you what way that is, but Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't it look glum? It looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
I mean, how could you not laugh at that? Letitia James is probably, I can't see her in that piece of video, but even Letitia James is probably laughing. Oh my goodness. And he's surrounded by Trump haters. He's got Letitia James who's trying to put him in prison. He's got Schumer next to him. He's got Martha McCallum behind him, who hates him. She's always been a never-Trumper. Do you know how difficult it is to put on a performance like that when you're surrounded by people who despise you, who don't want to laugh at you? I mean, if you go and do any type of... I mean, think about it, And I know, we have some people that you may think hate me that call the show sometimes. The ones that you think hate me are my biggest fans, right? I could not imagine what it would be like to go on the air and have 90% of the people in the audience hate me like the plague, think I'm Adolf Hitler, think that I'm going to end democracy as we know it, think that I am brutal to women, think that I have raped people, think I've had affairs with sex workers. I mean, they think that I'm in collusion with Putin, who's holding blackmail over me with a sex video that I made with some Russian hookers in Moscow. Could you imagine? That's the audience he had. All these ridiculous things I'm sharing about President Trump, none of which are true. About 90% of the people in that room that were laughing at his jokes, they're the ones that are promoting that all the time and doing those things to him. So to go into a room and perform where most of the people in the room hate you, and you're doing a stand-up act, you're doing a roast, that's very difficult. People that are famous, a lot of times, they don't have to be funny to make a room laugh. Just because they're famous, everyone's going to laugh at anything they say. And there's been a lot of unfunny people that, like, I'll give you a great example. Robin Williams. I remember watching Robin Williams stand-up. He's on my mind because I saw a clip of him doing some stand-up online the other day. And I was a fan of Mork for Mork and all that when I was a kid. But you watch his comedy, he was not funny. He made references I don't even get as an adult. And he was high on all kinds of drugs. But everyone laughed because he was famous. Right? So a lot of comedians that are famous get by on their fame, making a room laugh. Donald Trump is in a room of people that mostly hate him, want him in prison, are upset that the assassin missed. Many of them have committed crimes themselves, like Letitia James, to try to lock him up. Martha McCallum has spent not only almost 10 years bashing Trump, she got demoted at Fox News because of her Never Trumpism, drove her ratings down. She's sitting behind him. That's a tough room. That's a tough room. Our comedians we have on the show sometimes that are performing at the Kennel Club, you think they want to go to the Kennel Club and perform to a room where 90% of the people want them dead, in prison, or think they're Hitler? I don't think so. That's a tough audience. And for you to make a tough audience like that laugh is amazing. And what Trump did in that room blew me away. Now, I want to tell you the countdown has begun to our 6th annual Steve Kane, Brian Craig Maga cruise. We'll leave March 30th on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the flagship. We went on the newest ship last time, but they got a new ship since then. And it's called the Celebrity Ascent. And this ship has a lot of things on board that the other ships do not. And we're going to be doing things on this ship that we've not done on any other cruise. Ian, our travel agent, I'm not going to spoil what this is. You guys will find out when you're on board, or maybe if you've already booked and you call Ian, he may tell you. He booked a party with doing something we've never done before, which I'm very excited about. We're bringing back our Margarita party. We have the top of the ship. We're having an outdoor cocktail party in the garden area at the highest point on the ship. And when you go on our cruise, it is a private group. It's a private group. And you have access to all kinds of things. All these private events we do throughout the week together as a group. You're not required to go to any of them. You can go to all of them, none of them. But, they're there. We have dinner together every night in a private area, which we're doing something special this year. At my request, I asked Ian if he could set something up. I didn't think he could. He told me he did. This is amazing what we're going to be doing at dinner this year. Our shore excursions are private just to our group. And everything's included. Not just these special private group amenities that you have access to, including our shore excursions and private events on board, the 5-star meals, but drinks and Wi-Fi are also included. There's a lot of other things included too. Call Ian. He'll tell you what they all are. I'm going to give you his number. Give Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot a call and join us. It's a great MAGA family. And our MAGA family, our Cruise MAGA family, grows and grows every year. And don't worry, we don't have any of those weirdos that I talked to on the phones there. These are nice people. It's a private group. So we can have people in it and not in it based on our personal preference. Here's Ian's number, 561-244-5600. 5779. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. 1 hour down, 2 to go. We'll be right back.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.
If you're on hold, hang in there, guys.
So make sure you dress accordingly, stay hydrated, and have a wonderful start to your weekend.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
There's a serious collision and the turnpike is shut down. This traffic report sponsored by Allstate. On the turnpike heading southbound approaching the Kenansville Road overpass, it's shut down from a serious collision with an investigation and traffic is being diverted to the area. And there's
I'll be right back, guys.
work going on the turnpike and Beeline Highway. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now, so what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC, open every day with 65 tables of action, including cash games, high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments like the Moneymaker Tour October 23rd through November 4th. With over $500,000 in guarantees, over 20 plus events, and live streaming. PBKC is also your best bet for exciting OTV action from Keeneland, Laurel, Santa Anita, and more. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-50.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. We're back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales. Save 50% on radiant barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing, and we even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off radiant barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner Scott. That's 954-939-1500. CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone. Work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm going to go over the latest polls here quickly, and then we'll go back to the phone. You know, yesterday, I wasn't feeling too good. Like, started about the last hour of the show yesterday. I was feeling really weird and not well. And I didn't know what it was. And I went home, and I was feeling bad all day yesterday, even in the evening. And then when I was going to bed, I said to my, I figured out what it is because I was starting to feel better. I said I got over-caffeinated today. So I have cut my caffeine, my coffee intake in half, and I was trying to figure out how this happened. And then I had a suspicion, and I found out this morning. I go to the same Starbucks every morning for my coffee, and and it's the same couple of people, and when I go to the Starbucks, I have to, I don't wear my Maga. I kind of, I go through the drive-through and I take my Maga hat off. You got to do that, and if you're a Wings Plus, you can wear your Maga gear, but in most places, unless you want to be, drinking spit and phlegm, you take your Maga hat off. You know how liberals can be. And I said to the guy, he made my coffee yesterday. I said that coffee yesterday had a lot of caffeine in it. He says, yeah. He says, I gave you double yesterday. I said, double? He said, yeah. And I said, oh no, that's too much caffeine. But I get at Starbucks. Let me tell you what was going on here. I don't know how I made it through the day. I should have been in the emergency room. I get a venti hot blonde Americano, okay? Just to let you know how much caffeine that is. Blonde, that's the roast. The lighter, this is true with all coffee, little information. The lighter the coffee, the higher the caffeine content in it. The darker the coffee, the longer it's been roasted, and it cooks out the caffeine. So I get the blonde, it has maximum caffeine. In an Americano venti, it is 4 shots of espresso. It's 4 shots of espresso. The guy gave me 8 shots of espresso yesterday. I had 8 shots of espresso during yesterday's show. I was feeling bad. In fact, I was so bad, my wife said maybe we should go to the hospital yesterday afternoon because I was feeling so bad. Maybe I should. I was having tachycardia is what I was having. 8 shots of espresso. Can you imagine? That happened to me yesterday. All right, so let me go through the polls, then we'll go to the phones. The Real Clear Politics average, this is amazing. The Real Clear Politics average this morning is giving President Trump the lead in all battleground states. President Trump is now leading in all battleground states according to the Real Clear Politics average. This is new, okay, which includes Michigan and Arizona. In Arizona, Real Clear Politics average has President Trump leading by 1.4 points. In Nevada, Real Clear Politics has President Trump leading by 0.5 point. In Wisconsin, the Trump miracle continues. In Wisconsin, Trump leading by 0.1. In Gretchen Whitmer's anti-Catholic Michigan, Real Clear Politics average, President Trump leading by 0.9. Pennsylvania, Real Clear Politics average, Trump leading by 0.5, 0.5 point. North Carolina, Real Clear Politics average, Trump leading by 1 point. And in Georgia, President Trump leading by 0.9. President Trump is leading in every single battleground state, people. Every single battleground state. And that's a major gain in some of these states, including, of course, Michigan, which they're now giving to President Trump. And the Electoral College, Real Clear Politics, Electoral College prediction right now, remember, you need 270 electoral votes to win. Real Clear Politics giving President Trump 312 to Kamala's 226. This is amazing. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, man, it's Joe. I called yesterday.
Okay.
I wanted to apologize. I did not say that C word.
Okay, well, I've always got to err on the side of caution on the radio, so I'm glad you didn't. Okay.
Up here in Montana, our pronunciation is a little bit different. Can't.
Can't. Okay. Okay.
It sounds a little bit different.
Okay.
You cut me in mid-sentence by saying something.
Okay.
Oh, and I respect you.
Oh, but.
What's that?
But.
You're limited for time.
I'm not limited. I'm here till 9.
Brett Baer, I get that. You're funny. What did you think about Brett Baer's assessment, or the assessment of Brett Baer's interview?
Well, I did the whole show on that yesterday, but which I know you were.
I had to work.
You called me. You had to be okay. Whatever. No, he did a great job. He helped end her candidacy. He did a spectacular job.
2 days earlier, like, you thinking he was going to do a softball interview.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Nailed her.
I was wrong.
That he had to do it?
No, Fox News management hates Trump. No, he did the right thing. He's a real journalist. He put his biases aside and did a real interview with her. I was wrong the day before. Brett Baer did a spectacular job, and he deserves an award. He should be given an award for that job, I said yesterday.
Well, I actually think he did a great job. I was
Oh, yeah.
The same thing that you were.
Yeah, so we were both wrong. No, I was wrong.
With their shellac and his hair, whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah. All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. No, I told you guys, I have no problem admitting I'm wrong. What, am I supposed to attack the guy when he did a spectacular job just so if I'm wrong, I'll tell you. And I was wrong. He did a great job. He made me proud. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I just have to bring something up. President Trump was in a grocery store and talking to the management, and they say that the prices are up, but the profit is down. Well, I kind of made the profits go down again. I went in to Publix, and Pepsi now, Coke, now got rid of 2 liters of 2-liter Coke, and it's now 1.5 liter, but it's still $2 a bottle. So I said, this is ridiculous. I'm not buying it.
First off, who buys 2 liters? It goes flat like in 5 minutes. I haven't bought a 2 liter, and I remember when I was in high school, and when I first started in radio, for a very short time, I worked at Publix in high school, and I was a stockman at Publix, and I was the guy that did the soda aisle. That's all I did was the soda aisle. You had to have one guy doing the soda aisle because people buy so much soda, it goes empty real quick. I was the soda guy. And I remember you could get 2 liters for 25 cents.
Wow.
I mean, what's it? Yeah, 20. Remember when back when they had the green stamps at Publix? Remember the green stamps at Publix, the S&H green stamp books? No. You don't remember that? How much? But I haven't bought a 2 liter in 100 years because I buy the cans when I buy Coke. But how much is a 2 liter now of Coke?
$2 a bottle now.
That's nuts.
But now it's only 1.5 liters. So they cut it down to
1.5 liters? What?
They made the bottle is long but a little skinnier now. They're trying to fool people with shrinking packaging. And the thing that really bothered me most is I went to see the potato chips. These guys, the potato chip bags are these little tiny bags now.
Oh no, the bags are big, but there's not much. I have a few food vices, okay, and I can't remember the price of this. I like the Entenmann's donuts, and my wife told me how much they are now. The packages of Entenmann's. I said take that off the list, But Lay's potato chips. I mean, I love Lay's potato chips, and I if I go I get the regular Lay's, the barbecue, but my favorite is the salt and vinegar. And I get the biggest bags they sell. And the other day I ate the bag, 1 or 2 sitting, and my wife's like, Brian, what's going on? You ate the whole bag of the Lay's, and I said there's not much in it. She said you ate the whole bag. So I went and opened up another bag. There's the bag's empty. It's just at the bottom.
I don't know how long ago you did that bag. When I looked at the bag looked a lot smaller than it used to be.
Well, I guess it's wherever you're shopping. The bag seems big. It's just nothing in it. It's air. I mean, it's what do they call that? Shrinkage?
Product shrinkage. I mean, they're just destroying their own brand. I don't know why everybody's doing this. They probably don't have to do it so as much as they're doing.
Because they well, one of the reasons they do it is because they can. I mean, if you're Lay's potato chips and you start putting air in the bags mostly and hardly any chips, what are people going to do? People are very loyal to their chips. Like Ruffles, I mean, come on.
And I didn't buy them. I was going to buy them, but I said, no, this is ridiculous. How much?
But do you know? Have you ever gone out to your car, it won't start, and you look at the battery, and it's got like the corrosion on the battery? Yeah. Do you know what you do? How you get the corrosion off a battery, of a car battery?
What I do is I take the cable off and clean the terminal.
Really? You take the cable. So, okay, you go to your battery, your car battery, it's covered in corrosion. You take the cable off with all that acid, and you clean it off with what, like a wire brush?
I have the
I've never done that. What do you think I do? How do you think I clean it?
You put Coke on it.
I go in the house, I get a can of Coke, and I pour it on the terminal, and it instantly destroys the battery acid. That's all, and the corrosion. All of it completely gone.
If you get it on your paint, it'll screw up your paint. So
there's no paint inside on the battery. I got all the corrosion in it. Plus, if I got that kind of corrosion, it's on an older car, so I'm not worried. No, you just take the Coke. So that's what you're drinking. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a Coke before bed last night. I love Coca-Cola. Don't get me wrong. But if you next time go get a can of Coke, not the 2-liter because it's all flat. You'll lose. You got the can of Coke. Pour it on the corrosion on the battery. It cleans it better than you're cleaning it when you take the terminal off.
Oh, I'll try it. I'll definitely try it. Now the other thing I just like to mention.
So it's yes.
Okay, the quickly is all these people that were at the event with Trump last night. I talked to somebody who puts on a brunch for Congress on a Wednesday, I think. And he says, you can't believe the amount of people who come here that you think hate each other, but they're all buddy when off camera. So, a lot of these people are laughing because they probably don't really hate Trump as much as we think we hate him. Anyway.
Maybe you're right. All right, take care, Doug. Take care. Yeah, that battery acid. Did you know that, Mike? You didn't know that? See, yeah. I learned that. I learned that when I first started driving. My parents told me that trick when I had my first car when I was in high school. It works every time. I have not tried it with Pepsi, but I know usually the Coke. I know it works with the Coke. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our first break of the second hour and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane
How many
Show
people...
with Brian Craig.
The Coke trick for the battery corrosion. Did you know that trick? Yes or no? I would think most people know it.
With massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
By treating your knee pain with laser, treatment is simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain.
Yeah, most people knew it. Yep.
Now you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas.
Baking soda makes a mess.
Any joint I can do: shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Oh, Tab. Oh my goodness. Tab tastes like Formula 44D cough syrup.
Surgery and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them.
Wire brush, forget that. Just pour a Coke on it.
Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
The Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce has fantastic free-to-attend events.
The toilet bowl. Yeah, I've heard people doing that.
Next great expo in your area.
Coming up,
Yeah. Formula 44D.
1900 Northwest Federal Highway in Stewart. A day filled with fun, education, and wellness. Discover the latest trends in senior living, health products, and services.
I just know it works on the corrosion on the car battery terminals. I don't know about anything else.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent.
Do you think Ben Shapiro knows how to get corrosion off a battery terminal? Or Mark Levin? I bet they don't.
From repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches. With great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602, or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number
Just Ben Shapiro or Mark Levin? I bet neither of them know.
604-4602.
Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. No matter where you're located,
I bet you Rush knew. I would bet anything Rush knew. What about Hannity? Do you think he knows the coke on the battery terminal?
954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, here in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All right, we're back. Call us on hold, stand by. Someone told me during the break that they use Coca-Cola to clean the toilet with. I've not heard that. I don't know if I've not heard it or that just seems odd to me. What does the Coke do to clean the toilet? I don't know, but I was asking people during the break, do you think that Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin know how to get the corrosion off a battery terminal with a Coke? I know I'm more of a fix-it handy man than I sound like, okay? There's a lot of things I don't like to do. I don't like to do anything that involves electricity because I got shocked really bad once, but I can fix some things. Do you know what the number one fix for a clogged toilet is? What do you think? It's not a plunger. I know all kinds of things to do around the house. If you have a clogged toilet, liquid dish soap, especially like the Palmolive kind, but liquid dish soap in the toilet, boom, it'll unclog itself. I'm telling you, I know all kinds of stuff. All right, our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara at Baltimore.
Hey, Barbara. I wonder if Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin could change a car tire if they got a flat. I don't know.
Well, I have no idea.
Probably not.
Levin and Shapiro, why those two?
Have you seen Ben Shapiro's hands? His hands, he's got the hands of a woman.
Oh, okay.
He's not a handy man. Anyway, what's on your mind, Barbara?
Oh, boy, it certainly wasn't about hands. Well, anyway, I wanted to talk about Obama's fallout from his interview this week, but I'm with you. I thought initially Brett Baer got rolled. In fact, I put it on Twitter. I thought Brett Baer was rolled. And now I realize why I didn't get just how good he was. It's because I was so pissed at her cutting him off, and I was talking to the television, make her shut up. And then when she went off about him being dangerous, and then I started yelling about that's incendiary, he's already been attempted assassinate,
Mm-hmm.
and putting my own thoughts into what I wanted him to do to her.
Yeah.
Looking back over it, it's masterful, really, because she tried to cut him off. She filibustered about BS. He let her just ramble on and on. She looked so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she didn't show up.
She looked stupid. She looked stupid. She looked unhinged and deranged. She looked deranged too.
All of the above. She probably should have had
a 1-and-1 before she left home that might have got her straight. But anyway, President Trump would have took her to task if she shown up at that place last night. So she did the safe thing for herself. Kamala Harris is not going to win this election. I'm an election judge, and I'll just say that I'm not going to deal with Obama. Obama just gave President Trump, I'd say, at least 10% more black men who are absolutely pissed off at what he said. And I've seen so many women who are upset, black women, upset at him picking on.
Well, did you see the President Trump go to the black barber shop yesterday? They were applauding him. It was amazing.
What's happening in the black community, because I am a part of it, what I'm seeing is phenomenal. I have a brother, 60 years old, who has never voted, who is registering to vote for Donald Trump in South Carolina.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this particular.
That's a Democrat stronghold. That's a black Democrat stronghold, South Carolina.
Yes, because of Clyburn.
South Carolina must have had more slaves than anyone because they've got, the reason I say that is because there's one of the largest black populations in the country is in South Carolina, and it's always looked at as like the most important black voting bloc, especially in the primaries. It's always about South Carolina. Even before Clyburn, it was about
My great-grandmother was born in 1849 in Furman, South Carolina, and yes, she was a slave. And what happened in that family, all of my uncles have land given to them by I'm not going to say the last name of the family, because it happens to be my maiden name, but all of my uncles had property. And they'd had it for years. This was given to them.
By who?
By the slave owners.
Oh, the plantation owners gave the former slaves. Did they give it? Wow.
All had a lot of land, and nice farms and houses. And people built houses with their hands. Neighbors built each other's houses, so they had nice.
Let me ask you: Do you read much or not? Because sometimes people don't have time to read. Do you read?
I do read one. I'm more into the audio now.
Well, okay. This has got to be on audiobook. There's a book that you've got to get. It's called Slavery by Another Name. Slavery by Another Name. The author is a white guy, but his last name is Blackman. Okay, which is it's true. But it's about how after the slaves were freed, how the Democrats spent another 100 years enslaving blacks in the South. Through sharecropping and also the county jail system, and we're using blacks as slave labor, and let me tell you, it's got chain gangs and sharecropping. It's called Slavery by Another Name. It's one of the most important books ever written, and nobody knows about this book. And I try to promote it. I've read it 3 times.
Maybe Renee, some of your liberal loons who call in with the BS that they don't know what they're talking about. They need to read that.
That's why there's like the Jim Crow laws, like against if you were black, they'd arrest you for loitering. You do 30, 60, 90 days in the county jail working in a lumberyard or something, as a slave. No,
this is true. That book is true because people talked about it. Well, anyway, yes, it did happen. So whenever Kamala gives their reparations, I want to get in line because I have a bloodline that I can prove on Ancestry.com.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. All right. Well, listen, Barbara, got to go. Get that book if it's available on audio. Let me know, okay? Slavery by Another Name. The author's last name is Blackman, although he's a white guy, but his last name is Blackman. Slavery by Another Name. It will blow your mind. I read that book 3 times, and I keep it. I have it in my closet. I'll keep, because I don't see the book around. I'm always afraid that they're going to disappear that book because it's written by a guy that I want to say was a writer with the Wall Street Journal, one of the big newspapers. All right, listen, it is open phones on Friday, open Maga Mike Friday. I got to pay attention to the weather report, Mike, at the bottom of the hour because it's pretty dark outside for 7:30 in the morning. I mean, the sun should be out, and it's not. All right, It is open phones, open Maga Mike Friday, and on open Maga Mike Friday, the show prep is up to you guys. You're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. I'm going to play some more audio from the Al Smith dinner and our great President Trump when we get back. Our number toll free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Yeah, it's pretty dark out.
Cloudy and very, very windy too. So they say this one's picking up. It's nice, but like,
yeah,
it's like really breezy.
That's the All Year Cooling Weather Center right there behind me. High of 80. Oh my gosh, that's cold.
Yep.
That's a cold front for Florida. 80 degrees? Holy smokes.
That wind has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Weather brought to you
It's
by
not supposed
All
to be
Year
rainy
Cooling.
either, so it's just
Enjoy
gonna be
free
staying like this
AC
pretty
replacement
much all
estimates
day.
along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
There's a broken down car on I-95. This traffic is by Robert Half. I-95 heading northbound at Gateway Boulevard. There's a broken down car on the shoulder of the road in Boynton Beach.
Got
And
Seagull
there's
next.
also a crash on 441 at Palmetto Park Road. And they're doing some bridge replacement along US 1 at Ocean Boulevard. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. They're recruiting professionals. Utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Listen to the PBKC Picks podcast live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And catch Football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet and a draft beer for just $25. And get this deal for free by calling 561-683-2222 extension 199. That's great food, drink specials, all the games on over 140 HD TVs and big screens.
Now, guys, don't forget MyPillow.com. Huge savings right now. The MyPillow that started it all. The standard MyPillow, just $14.88 with our promo code Kane at checkout. That's an incredible deal. Just $14.88. And free shipping on all orders over $75. And now, of course, you can use our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, on all the specials at MyPillow.com. Not just the ones I talk about. Look, here's the American flag pillow, $25. Mike Lindell's book. Ian, our travel agent from Cruise and Travel Depot, his daughter is going to school in Israel, and he loaded her up. He got her the MyPillow 2.0 because he says the weather is, different all the time in Israel, so we got her the 2.0 MyPillow, which is buy one, get one free with our promo code Kane at checkout. The pet bed, and even Mike Lindell's My Store, you can use our promo code Kane there as well. Great deals. I have the Mike Lindell bobblehead. Have it on my desk at home. Maybe I'll show it to you guys this weekend when I'm live streaming. The children's Bible pillows, too, for $29.98. Those are great. Great Christmas gifts. And, of course, free shipping on all orders over $75 with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. We'll be back shortly.
This is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the...
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I heard during the weather a high today of 80 degrees. And, of course, that's a cold front here in Florida. 80 degrees? Oh, my goodness. I might have to turn the heat on my new air conditioner this weekend. But that is a cold front for us. Oh, my goodness. A high of that? All right. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. And, again, it is open phones on Friday. Open Maga Mike Friday. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Randy from Stewart.
Hey, Randy. What's up?
Well, what I find amazing is whatever Kamala says, either in an interview or even at this Al Smith dinner with the ridiculous video she put up, you know, whatever she says, I mean, it's all right. I mean, she could scream from the top of her lungs and it would be okay. It would justify whatever she would say. And
yeah.
On the interview, on the video thing, I mean, she couldn't even do her own comedy. She had to have some SNL has-been on there, and to make comedy. I mean,
and you know, Molly Shannon's more of a never been than a has been. She was always B, even when she was on the cast. You know, here's the thing though, Kamala Harris doing that video with Molly Shannon was the best thing she could have done to help the Trump campaign at the Al Smith dinner, because what that's done is it's going to happen at least 1 million times today, whether it's radio, television, podcast, somewhere, some guy on TikTok. People are going to say she's the first presidential candidate since Walter Mondale in 1984 not to show up at the Al Smith dinner, and he lost 49 of the 50 states. And that's going to be said so much today. It's going to do such incredible damage. It just shows how stupid and incompetent that she and her idiot staff are, that they would put her in a position where that's all people are going to be talking about all day today. Mondale.
It almost makes you think that maybe they want her to fail.
No, they'd be working in the White House, her staff, if she were to win. I saw her yesterday speaking to some people, and she looks like she's given up. She looked so depressed.
Yeah. I just get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. You know, it's just like.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope the country is going in the right direction.
It is going in the right direction. I mean, you know, the whole country is like Stewart, Florida, MAGA. I just was talking. The latest Real Clear Politics average has President Trump leading in every single battleground state, and that includes Michigan and Arizona. That's amazing. That's new today, this morning. That was not true yesterday. It's true today.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about early voting? I mean,
President Trump says do it. President Trump says vote early. You know, I'm voting early for two reasons. One, President Trump said so, and so did Laura Trump, who's running the RNC, okay? And the second is my wife, because she's disabled on Election Day, she might not be feeling well, or she might not be able to go. So we're going to do it early so that we make sure that she votes.
Yeah, well, amen to that. That's fantastic.
Listen, people that are worried about the early voting and stuff, we have something we didn't have last time. We have Laura Trump, who has about 20,000 attorneys nationwide. We have representation in Detroit and all these places that we didn't have 4 years ago. So don't worry. Trump's got everything under control. Most competent man to ever be president.
I'm confident. I'm cautiously confident. I'm just, I just got butterflies in my stomach. I don't want.
Well, yeah. Nothing. That's not going to happen. Hey, take care. Appreciate the call. All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to take these calls in the order in which they were received to the best of my ability. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Larry from Tennessee.
Hey, Larry.
Hi, listen, I want to say something about Mike Lindell's products first, okay? And then I want to say something about Trump. I went ahead and bought the topper for the bed, and it's like sleeping on a cloud. And I bought one for my daughter. She also loved it. So they got some really great products. And when it comes around to coffee, he makes a great coffee. I know you're a coffee drinker.
Mm-hmm. I drink his coffee at home.
It's fantastic. Let me tell you, that's what I do too. I make it here. In any case, let me go back to Trump now, okay? So those products, as a matter of fact, I even have his slippers.
Oh, those are really good, aren't they? I go home and I put the slippers on, and the stress in my body just evaporates.
I know. It's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's go to Trump. You know what I think they should do with Trump? They should take Grant off of the $50 bill and put his face on the $50 bill. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because Benjamin Franklin is on a $100 bill, and he's one of our greatest statesmen that the United States has ever seen. Represent the United States. And you know what? Trump did the same thing. I saw him on TV cross over into North Korea and shake the hand of Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un could wipe the United States off the map of the earth if he wanted to with 3 nuclear weapons, because he already proved that he can go ahead and send those weapons over here. He sent those intercontinental ballistic missiles here. He sent one. International waters on any landmass in the world is 25 miles off of any landmass coast. Well, he sent one over to Los Angeles, about 50 miles off the coast. He sent one into the Gulf of Mexico, about 50 miles.
See, the thing with Kim Jong-un and Trump, a couple things about that. Hey, by the way, appreciate the call, Larry, and the kind words on Mike Lindell and My Pillow. By the way, great deals on all the products he mentioned with our promo code Kane at checkout. The thing about Kim Jong-un, one day, I've suspected this from the beginning, and one day the whole story of it's going to come out. But what Donald Trump does, the way that he handles Kim Jong-un and Putin is simple. Those guys care about money. Money, 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 money. And President Trump, he says to Kim Jong-un, you see that satellite map of the Korean Peninsula at night? And it's all lit up and beautiful in South Korea, and there's like 2 light bulbs on in North Korea? North Korea could be like that. And he's, all that money. Because, basically Kim Jong-un's a welfare recipient of China who fund everything, and they don't have a lot of money. And that's what gets Putin and all these guys on board with him. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
I think Kamala Harris, ever since the debate with Trump, has had that defeated look. And it's just getting worse and worse every time she gets on television. Has nothing to say. Nothing. She had the last 3.5 years to do something, to close the border, to help the economy, with health care, provide for Americans that are in distress through natural disasters. They've done absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And they're not even trying. They're not even the last couple of months they could have pushed through a whole bunch of stuff to try to help her and make it look like they were doing something, but they don't seem to care.
Brian, that's what I was going to say next. They're not even trying. It's absurd that they think that the more anybody in the swing states isn't seeing through that malarkey. It's absurd what they're not doing.
No, exactly. And that's one of the reasons I tell you that they're not behind, the Democrat machine's not behind Kamala or they would have passed a whole bunch of legislation in the last 2 months so she could take credit for things and prop her up, and they've done less than nothing. They've done less than zero.
Yep, that's right. And my point is, Brian, I believe that they know that November 5th they're going to lose.
Yes.
They lose, the only question. But I say at the end of the first year, the beginning of the second year, they're going to start attacking J.D. Vance because they know he's next, and he's going to throttle him just like Trump.
That's okay. Bring it on.
J.D. Vance is going to win 2 more terms after Trump.
Mm-hmm.
See 12 years of the White House. And if we can keep the House and the Senate, we can turn this country around.
And do you realize that's 16 years of MAGA? 2 terms of Trump, 2 terms of JD. That's 16 years of MAGA.
And once that's done, how could anybody want to turn back?
Mm-hmm.
Old school, old established.
That's right. All right, listen, I got to run for the break, Jeff. Good call. Thanks so much. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Right here on.
All right, it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Hey, Brian. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us today?
Well, it's really important to make sure, for most of us, to have elder law language in our estate planning documents. And that's because if you or your spouse should become ill and need care, either at home or outside the home, a nursing home or assisted living facility, your estate plan's not going to do you much good if you've spent down your money and you're broke or near broke. So your estate plan needs to have language in it to make sure that you can qualify down the road if you ever need to. For example, there's language that should be in the power of attorney that can make the difference between qualifying and not qualifying if your income is over the Medicaid limit. For many people it is. And should there be a mental incapacity issue, the power of attorney needs to not only exist and have the right people in place and all, but it has to have language in it allowing for the creation of the legal documents that need to be prepared in order to make sure that we can still get you qualified. So there's a lot that needs to be done to make sure that not only do you leave a legacy, but that you protect your assets during your lifetime.
So maybe I'm misunderstanding, but are you saying like anytime somebody comes in and gets like the revocable living trust done, they should have some of this language inserted because you never know what age you're going to be when you need care?
Yeah, and for all of our clients, we insert the language in, like as my example was the power of attorney. That's going to be in for all of our clients because we do estate planning and elder law, so that language is going to be in there. We want to make sure all of our clients are protected just in case they ever, God forbid, need care and then need to have a way to pay for it.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, you're never too young to do that. If you're getting your revocable trust done, you want to get that done. But if you have a revocable living trust or an estate plan that's been done by another law firm, the Siegel Law Group will review that at no charge, okay? And you can make sure, maybe it's all set up right. I doubt it because the Siegel Law Group is the best in the business and they cross every T and dot every I and think about, you guys think of scenarios and things, Barry, that I couldn't even fathom. But after having so many clients, you've probably seen pretty much every scenario that someone can run into. Here's the number. Yeah, go ahead, Barry.
You think that you do, that you've seen every scenario, and then something new comes up.
Really? You never know. Yeah, you never know. Well, listen, again, mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, and you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. Here's their number, toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And the website, which is a very good website, by the way, SiegelLawGroup.com. SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk next week.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Social justice warriors for breakfast. Now
Alrighty, we are back, and it is open phones on Friday. We call it Open Maga Mike Friday, and that means the show prep is up to you guys. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Bob from West Palm. How are you doing?
All right, Bob. What's up?
Listen, I wanted to add a comment to the caller that suggested we vote early. Absolutely, we have to vote early. But here's another catch. People need to make sure that they request or even demand a paper ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Seems exclusively, and that's how they're going to cheat.
No one, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, you can use a paper ballot if you want to request one, request it, but it's you don't have to worry about that stuff. Hey, listen, I want to point out something. I'm glad he called from Palm Beach. Were any of you driving on I-95 in West Palm yesterday when I got off the air, so maybe around 9:30? President Trump, obviously, let me tell you, after the 2 assassination attempts by Never-Trumpers, after that Never-Trumper shot him, there was a lot of problems about how much security does he have. The security that President Trump has, to me, seems even stronger and higher and more secure than when he was in his first term. And I was driving, remember the other day I told you I bumped into President Trump's motorcade? I was driving southbound on I-95 yesterday around 9:30. They had not just the exit of 95 on both sides blocked where Trump drives directly from Mar-a-Lago to the airport. They did something I've never seen. They had the exit just north and just south also blocked. So Southern Boulevard is the road from Mar-a-Lago to Trump Force One. They had all that blocked. Couldn't get off either direction. The road was completely blocked. Police everywhere, helicopters, but the road north and the road south, that's new. A couple weeks ago when I got off, when I bumped into the motorcade, they didn't have those other exits blocked. And I think it's the latest upgrade. And so he is well protected. I got to tell you, President Trump is. I've never seen him this well protected. I used to go up there all the time when he was in his first term to see the motorcade, the presidential motorcade, and it was pretty cool. I don't remember them blocking the exits like this off of I-95 because sometimes I was running late. And if you're driving in West Palm Beach, you experience this, and I feel great about it because it means that they're really protecting him. And it's also another indicator that they know he's going to win. That they want to make sure he's properly protected, and there's a lot of sucking up going on by the federal government in this too, because they know he's coming back. He's going to be the boss in a couple months again, and they don't want to be neglecting him. But the security is massive. And he needs it, and I feel great that they finally did it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Fine, John from Coral Springs.
Hey, John. What's up?
First of all, thank you for all that you do, not just on the show, but behind the scenes, the YouTube videos, the shows you do with your wife Kathy, who's about as sharp as a tack. I don't know what Greg number 2 was talking about the other day, but Kathy is on the ball.
Thank you.
I think, when it comes to Kamala Harris, just sheer laziness. The 3 people that gone against Trump, one lazier than the other. Hillary Clinton didn't want to do anything. They think they were just privileged. Biden never left Delaware. She's barely doing any rallies or anything, or what do you say, get-togethers when they get 37 or 44 people. I mean, it's ridiculous when it comes to
Well, slow down for a second. When you talk about Hillary and Kamala, neither of them earned their positions, right? If you remember Hillary, when she was running for Senate in New York, a place she never lived, remember her husband was president. Remember and Bill Clinton pardoned those Puerto Rican terrorists in New York so she could get the Puerto Rican vote. Bill Clinton pardoned a big criminal ring of, I want to say Hasidic Jews to get the votes of this town. And she got in on her husband was the sitting president at the time. And Kamala, well, she didn't get around on coattails. She got around on bed sheets, right? She never earned anything. So you got 2 women that never earned anything and worked the system. They've never had to. So going out there and actually working for something, they don't even understand what that is. You understand what I mean? They don't even know. They don't know that. They don't think of themselves as lazy because they don't know another way.
Right, and it's like they finally broke the ice. She had the guts, and believe me, I don't know what these polls are like on TV. There's no way that they're close, or she's up by 2, or down by 1, or they're tied. If this was the case, she would still stay in hibernation right now. They're doing us a disservice, but we expected this from the media.
You're the guy in the Dr. Appleton commercial talking to me and Steve, aren't you? Yeah, I recognize the voice.
Thank you very much. But that's so true, though, with Dr. Appleton. Also, I'm right next to Wings Plus. So I wish you would open at 9 o'clock.
Me too.
9:01.
Exactly, me too.
And a little before I say heads up and gratitude to Laura Trump. She's on the ball right now. I think I heard something about a month or so ago that in Detroit they had 2,000.
Yeah.
50. She's on the whole.
She has Laura Trump has thousands of lawyers around America. We had no representation 4 years ago, so you have nothing to worry about. The Trump family, the Trump organization, is running the RNC. They're on the job.
Elon Musk, thank God for Elon Musk, because I don't know what Twitter would be like if he wasn't the owner going into this. And just to say, get out there and vote. And for everybody in Detroit, Election Day is November 5th. It isn't Election Day. Please look out. Knows how to count to get the job done.
All right, appreciate the call. And did you guys see the town hall in Pennsylvania with Elon Musk yesterday? It was very good. And he said this election will decide the future of civilization, Elon Musk said. It's pretty true. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. Jupiter Joe Thomas. You know, I highlight Jupiter all the time because that's where the successful live. The financially successful are in Jupiter, okay? So when you're looking to take financial advice from someone to do retirement planning, you want to take advice from someone who's, in Jupiter, okay? But you want to give him a call. He's offering free phone consultations. No matter where you're located in the United States, you can take advantage of the free phone conversation and consultation with Joe Thomas. And he'll tell you how he could turn your money into guaranteed income for life. You heard me right. Guaranteed income for life. You know, a lot of people have IRAs and 401ks and stocks and bonds and mutual funds, a whole bunch of other things. But those do not guarantee you an income stream for life. And, you can never have enough income streams, especially when you're retired. Okay, so give them a call. Take advantage of this no-charge consultation. 561-743-0999. Let him hear your situation. Let him run the numbers for you. He'll give you a custom proposal about what he can do for you. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And online, JupiterJoe.com. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Steve from Sunrise. How are you?
All right, Steve, what's up?
Hey, listen, I never realized how funny Trump is, man. I saw him at that dinner last night with Chuck Schumer sitting there next to him with his stone face. And I never realized that Trump had a future in comedy if he wanted to.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Left and right. I mean, when the View is so bad, they need to bring Rosie O'Donnell back.
Mm-hmm.
Died.
Oh, yeah.
Taking his speech.
I didn't think men could have periods, and then I met Tim Walz. I mean, this was great. I mean, that's great stuff.
I like what he said, too bad he can't be here tonight to decide. It looks like he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
It was just...
You know what I'm curious about? The jokes were very good, but those jokes were professionally written by a professional comedian. So let me ask you guys: is Dennis Miller alive or did he die? I know Norm Macdonald died, right? But is Dennis I don't know who wrote those jokes. But I don't know. But somebody those were written. Dennis Miller's conservative.
Is he? I mean,
oh yeah, he's been out of the closet conservative for years. He used to do the news on Saturday Night Live, but yeah, somebody, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a comedy writer.
I can actually see that because his jokes and the deliveries were sort of like on that Dennis Miller delivery kind of jokes.
Yeah, so if anybody has heard or has any speculation on who it could have been, the reason Dennis Miller comes to my mind, and I don't know. I've seen Dennis Miller in concert like 3 or 4 times, and he's very funny. But the jokes were a little bit of dry humor too, and it just seems like Dennis Miller's style of comedy, you know. So, but I don't know. I don't know. If you guys have any speculation or knowledge, let me know.
I thought it was great. Brian, keep up the great work, buddy.
I will. All right, take care. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. My name is Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. That'll soon be changing to 48 years. Oh, my goodness. Okay, it is open phones on Friday, open Maga Mike Friday at 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
WSFF 104.3 HD3 Airbar, WIRK 103.1.
You there, Steve? Okay.
Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by the Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show.
No, it's not. I'm going to recognize the voice. You think so? I'll go back and listen. I'll go back and listen.
Yeah, I'd look out for that because I think that's him.
Okay.
Because that was that same. He had that peculiar voice that's.
I'll definitely go back and listen.
Yeah. Larry, we're boring. Yeah, I don't know. This is so weird. I thought it was like that.
I'll find out.
Stay hydrated and have a wonderful start to your weekend.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
There's a broken down car on I-95. This traffic report sponsored by Norton 360. On I-95 heading northbound at Gateway Boulevard, there's a broken down car that's on the shoulder of the road. And there's also a crash at 441 at Palmetto Park Road. And on the turnpike...
Now, guys, don't forget Robert Allen Miltenberg's book, The Sound of Light, is available on Amazon, free on Kindle Unlimited. If you don't have Kindle Unlimited, just $3 on Kindle, and the paperback just $9.99. It's a book about music, science fiction, and politics. You love it. And, you know, he's written other books, too. If you click on his name, Pool Boy to the Mob, that was the first book of his that I shared with you guys. That's also free on Kindle Unlimited. So you can check out his other books, too. He worked, the author, Robert Allen Miltenberg, worked as a pool boy at a mob-owned hotel in Miami Beach when he was a young man, and he writes about it in the book, which is hilarious. But The Sound of Light, available right there on Amazon. There's a link in the description of the video to the book, guys. Check it out and order it.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales, save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order.
That's me and Steve on one of our cruises out on deck. That was on the bow of one of the ships. I can't remember which one it is.
There's lots of any lab test nows around, but
I'm cut off a little bit there. You can see Steve. It's on our website.
go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs, and make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Yeah, Dennis Miller's alive. All right. Call us on hold, stand by. Hour number 3 has begun. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve. Well, it's morning, unless you've been up all night. You're turning in, you're turning into Liberal Al. Yeah. I saw the whole thing. I've been playing some of the clips today. It was beautiful comedy, gold. Yeah, just have your wife look it up, and she can watch. You can watch the whole thing uninterrupted. I watched the whole thing this morning before I came in, and it was beautiful. That's what I was saying before the top. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, to me, just the type of joke sounds like Dennis Miller, but if anyone out there has heard anything about and there's nothing wrong with having a comedy writer. Even comedians have writers, right? Even Chris Rock has writers. There's nothing wrong with that, but you still got to have the delivery. It takes more than just have the writers. Now, I want to go over this because I did this the top of the hour, at the 6 o'clock hour, and the 7 o'clock hour, because we've got new poll information that is huge stuff. So I wanted to lead each hour with this because it's so groundbreaking. President Trump is now leading in the Real Clear Politics average. President Trump is now leading in every single battleground state. This is new as of today. That includes Arizona and Michigan. And I'll go over them real quick and we'll talk. But in Arizona, President Trump is now leading by 1.4. In the state of Nevada, President Trump is leading by 0.5 point. In Wisconsin, President Trump is leading by 0.1. This is all Real Clear Politics average. In the state of Michigan, President Trump, this is Gretchen Whitmer's Michigan, leading by 0.9.
Speculating a couple of weeks ago that if he won Michigan, that was it.
Well, for the first time, he's now leading in Michigan in the Real Clear Politics average. Pennsylvania, President Trump is leading by 0.5 point. In North Carolina, President Trump is leading by 1 point. In the state of Georgia, President Trump is leading by 0.9, so just under a point. And, I know a lot of... Yeah.
It might be overly
Steve, he's leading. The elections are decided in the battleground states, and he's leading in every one.
Look at the trends. The trends also are in his favor.
Well, yeah, because the last 2 states, he just, Arizona and Michigan, he just got. And Real Clear Politics Electoral College map, remember, you need 270 electoral votes to win. They're giving Trump 312 to Kamala's 226. So that's amazing, and that's new because we got the new data from Arizona and Michigan. That's amazing. I mean, this is it is.
Did Tony Curtis say the cat's in the bag and the bag's?
Well, we still need 100 million people to turn out on Election Day. Don't get too confident, guys. Don't get too cocky, kid. You know who said that? Don't get too cocky, kid. Does anybody know who said that? You know who said that, Mike? Han Solo to Luke Skywalker when they were fighting at the end of Star Wars. They were after they escaped a Death Star and they were fighting the TIE fighters. Don't get cocky, kid. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian.
Yes, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Jack again. How are you?
Jack, what's on your mind? Not looking good for Kamala.
Well, I think using a conservative polling center as a reference, especially when you yourself said that polls don't matter, is quite a...
Well, nothing that you said is true. Those 2 statements you said were not true. Maybe your name's really Jack, but that if your name is Jack, that's the only truthful thing you said. One is this. I never said that polls don't matter. I said I don't follow polls, but what I follow are the trends of polls, the trend. and the trend is in Trump's favor. The other thing you said, Real Clear Politics is right-wing. No, these are not right-wing polls. These are not right-wing polls. Listen, you can tell people I'm gaslighting. You're the one that's gaslighting. What Real Clear Politics does, and I'll pull them up, they take all the polls and average them together, okay? So let's go through the polls, Steve, with this guy, and let's find out these conservative polls. Let's start with Arizona, okay? No. You're not going to ask me squat until we do this. These are the polls in the state of Arizona. The Real Clear Politics has President Trump up 1.4 in the Real Clear Politics average. You say these are conservative. They have averaged together 3, 6... Excuse me. I'll do this with or without you on the phone. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 polls that they've averaged together. The first one is CBS News that has Trump leading by 3. Is CBS News right-wing?
An apology if he loses.
Is CBS right-wing?
If Donald Trump loses, you owe me and your viewership an apology.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your call. I can't, if he's not going to respond, I might as well talk to the wall. Oh, my goodness. These people, Steve, they're, you know what? Exactly. I wanted to play a couple clips, though. I've been playing them all morning, but I've got more. This is President Trump from the Al Smith dinner.
It's a process. It's a rough process.
Hold on, let me cue it up.
It's a process. It's a rough process, too. Not so pretty, and yet sometimes very beautiful. But the press is reporting the Democrats are starting to panic. They're panicking. They are panicking because, the votes that are coming in very, very strong a certain way. I won't tell you what way that is.
The early voting he's talking about.
Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
And I want to tell you, pretty good, huh? And, the thing about that one, okay, I'll tell you two things about this in particular. Chuck Schumer has been telling us that Donald Trump is the greatest threat this nation faces, greater than even climate change, because this is Schumer talking, because he will be the end of American democracy. If he thinks he's the end of American democracy, would he sit there all night at a dinner and laugh at things that he says? It doesn't seem like you would do that. And right behind President Trump, in the row right behind him, Steve, and to President Trump's right, there's an obese black woman sitting there, Letitia James. And Letitia James, she's sitting in the row behind Trump to his right. And when he told that joke about Schumer, guess what she did? She laughed. Letitia James laughed. Not only did Letitia James laugh, when President Trump came in the room to speak, she stood up and gave him applause with everybody else in the room. Now, if he is this El Chapo-like level criminal that she's been persecuting in the state of New York, why did she give him a standing ovation? Does she give a standing ovation for all the criminal masterminds in New York City, or what? Or just Trump, Letitia James? This is a pretty significant thing, and that's one of the highlights of the night to me is that she was there. Okay, now this is President Trump talking about Kamala not attending.
But if you really wanted Vice President Harris to accept your invitation, I guess you should have told her the funds were going to bail out the looters and rioters in Minneapolis, and she would have been here, guaranteed she would have been here. Guaranteed.
That's a good one.
She would have been okay. She would have been okay with that. But I know this isn't my normal crowd tonight, because it just isn't. It's not my normal crowd. Believe me, my normal crowd is younger, has a lot more energy.
Yeah, than you guys. Yeah, that was, these are not his friends in that crowd, a lot of them, Steve. There's a lot of Democrats there.
They they got sucked in spite of themselves. They didn't want to laugh, but they couldn't help.
Even when he's got Letitia James laughing, that's... Let me play this next one. We're supposed to break. Let me play another one.
With you this evening, amazing pleasure. And these days it's really a pleasure anywhere in New York without a subpoena for my appearance.
I love that one.
Anytime I don't get a subpoena, I'm very happy. They've gone after me, Mr. Mayor. You're peanuts compared to what they've done to me. And you're going to be okay. But I have to be careful, however, to understand that this will be the first time in the history of this event where jokes will be fact-checked, and they will be. And they will be. It's been a long tradition for both Democrat and Republican.
Okay, it goes on. I'll play some more after the break, but the whole night was bad. And, the media... Most, when they're showing the clips, are cropping Letitia out of the clips you're seeing on television. Okay? And that's not by accident. The media still hates Trump. Even though he's winning and he's ahead in all the battleground states and all of that, they still hate him. And I did see her laugh. When he was talking about Schumer looking glum, that's when she laughed. And then she caught herself and stopped. Because she realized, they're gonna catch me laughing at a guy that I'm comparing to El Chapo up here. And the media are cutting her out. My guess is she laughed a lot. I saw her give him the standing ovation. She could have sat. She didn't have to do that. She could have stayed in her chair. Well, yeah, but she's...
Trump magic.
Yeah, but Letitia James has been persecuting him on multiple things. All right, hey, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our first break of the third hour. It is open phones on Friday. We call it Open Maga Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Shannon on the radio with a quick reminder that if you like music by the Stones, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Four Seasons, and all those big hits from Motown, this morning, right after 10 a.m., it's all back on the air, right here on South Florida's True Oldies Channel.
Dr. Appleton is relief pain with his laser away pain treatment. Shoulder injuries, arthritis, knee pain, all gone, and more. But don't just take my word for it. Monica called me live on the radio to tell me how Dr. Appleton rid her of pain.
Brian, my name is Monica. I'm from Boca. I'm calling because several weeks ago I had a lot of pain on my knee, and I went to see Dr. Appleton. He released me from my knee pain. I can walk. And this week I went to see him. I had excruciating pain in my hand, and I had a treatment. And I just want to say out there to everyone, it works. It really works. I am pain-free from my hand. He's amazing. Friendly staff. He's wonderful. And I highly recommend him. And I thank you so much for the recommendation. I'm very grateful.
Call Dr. Appleton right now and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com.
Talk about amazing kielbasa. Crocus Deli in North Lauderdale is a must if you love Polish food. They have a variety of Polish sausage, bacons, Polish cheeses, ham and pork loins, even Polish hot dogs. Crocus Deli has such amazing homemade foods like goulash, pork and bacon, homemade soups, and more. You have to check out Crocus Deli. The bakery is out of this world. Stop by for delicious Polish food. CrocusDeliFL.com for directions or call 954-722-8006.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? money. Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
This weekend, explore 2 fantastic outdoor art events in South Florida. First, visit the Las Olas Art Fair on East Las Olas Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, where you'll see artwork from more than 150 artists. Or head to the Downtown Stewart Craft Festival on Southwest Osceola Street, where you'll find a variety of handmade creations. Both events offer free admission and are fun for the whole family. Las Olas Art Fair and Downtown Stewart Craft Festival, this weekend only. Details at artfestival.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FLA.
Alrighty, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Oh, man. You know, the other day when you weren't here, Steve, I was asking the audience a question. And it took there were a lot of guesses, and finally someone got it. But maybe I'll see if you can get it, because it's about you. I was asking people. There is a catchphrase from a commercial that you're most famous for. What do you think? What do you think it is? The one you're most well known for. The one I told you many times. You should have this engraved on your crypt at the gardens, where you're going to spend eternity in the wall there.
Crazy then.
I wasn't sure. Maybe it's just where my mind is. A lot of people get the fabulous erection injection, which can give a man an erection that lasts up to 4 hours. The reason I was talking about this is when we were talking about Kamala the other day, when we were talking about that sex stuff, you were saying sex is off limits. And I was saying, since when is sex off limits with the Steve Kane Show? It's usually the opposite. Sex is always on limits. I was talking about that fabulous erection injection. By the way, you didn't have to have an erection for 4 hours. You could regulate the dose and have for 1 or 2 hours if you had to get home. Yeah, I remember. Well, you did the commercial so much. I remember it well. I remember you asked me if I would do spots for that, and I did. And I thought that was a little too much. And I said 4 hours. I said, this was before I was married, guys. I was a lot younger. I said, 4 hours, I got to get home and be at work the next morning. And that's when you told me you can regulate the dosage. Remember that? All right, let's go to so all of a sudden, sex is off limits on the CK. Okay, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Patrice.
Yes, Patrick. Yes, Patrick, where are you calling from? Patrice. Okay, I'm sorry.
From Lake Clark Shores.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm about the Democrat fraud. A friend of mine who's a politician told me that on the Social Security website shows massive amounts of people registering to vote without ID on the main state.
Well, I don't know. In Florida, if you don't have identity, not only in Florida, are you in Florida?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You're in Palm Beach. Oh, perfect. I vote in Palm Beach too. Okay. In Florida, in particular in Palm Beach, because that's where I vote at, not only do you have to provide identification to vote, they check your signature when you sign to get your ballot to see if it matches to your driver's license.
Oh, yeah.
So no worries with that here. By the way, this accent, where's your accent from? That's not a Palm Beach. French. Okay, well, welcome. We love the French. All right, take care. Love the French. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you today? You know, usually I'm doing pretty good. The Alice in this dinner is usually pretty entertaining, and I usually try and catch it. And I thought Trump was very good, but the subpoena lines were sensational. What I was very curious about is who determines the seating arrangement at the dais there. Schumer was getting hammered, and so was Bloomberg, and you could see the reaction to what Trump was saying in the camera view.
Well, a lot of it has to do. It's a good question you ask. There's two things that factor the seating. One, a lot of those seats are by rank, and Schumer thinks he's the king of New York because he's the senator, right? And he's a New York City guy. He was a state rep from New York City, wasn't he? Before he was in the Senate, or a House member, or some House member. He's from New York City, House member. So that it's rank. Some of it is by how much money you pay.
Okay. Because he had a really bad seat for him because he was just to the left of Trump there.
But let me tell you something. If I get invited to an event and they have me sitting next to a guy that I compare to Adolf Hitler, who is going to end American democracy as we know it, I don't sit next to that person. I may even leave. Okay? I just don't sit with people like that. But Schumer, according to Schumer, was sitting next to Adolf Hitler last night. Who would do that?
Schumer, Bloomberg, and Letitia James really got hammered by just where they were sitting on the dais there. Because they were in camera view. Every time they're getting hit by a line from Trump or that comedian, you could see the reaction to it. And Bloomberg was especially not looking too happy either, along with Schumer. So, I don't want to say it's...
Democrats are not going to look happy.
No, they're not. But last night it was really visible, very visible.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, and I wish they had gotten Kennedy and...
Well, you know what it is? They didn't realize... Robert Kennedy... They didn't realize how good he was going to be because they're in this Trump derangement circle of hate.
Yeah. The timing was perfect right after Kamala's disaster with Bet Bear.
But this is... Let me tell you, though, this is a significant thing. And I don't know how many people are hitting on this, okay? Letitia James is prosecuting him like he is one of like he's John Gotti. Let's face it, right? Remember John Gotti, New York mobster, right? And Letitia James is prosecuting him and characterizing him as John Gotti. Do you think that as the attorney general, she would sit behind John Gotti if he were doing a comedy routine and she was prosecuting him?
No.
So that's proof that she doesn't believe what she says. And the same thing would Schumer sit next to a man who was going to end American democracy for hours?
It's part of it's trying to project a macho image.
No, it's that they don't believe what they say.
The fact, I mean, I don't know how many times it was addressed, but the silent killer in the what is the thing they have about the elephant in the living room? The great unspoken was the fact that Kamala was.
No, Steve. Yeah, well. Oh, she did us a great favor not showing up. Now everyone can point out that Mondale's the only one that didn't go, and he lost 49 states. But let me give you an example. That's right.
And she doesn't have the wit either.
You know, this thing with Letitia James, let me give you an example. I remember during the O.J. Simpson trial, which I lived that trial. So did Steve. I mean, you know, so I know it's but that during that trial, Halloween came. And there was a story in the most popular Halloween costume that year was O.J., okay? And Judge Ito was the judge in the O.J. Simpson case. This was a big national story. He went to a Halloween party with his wife, who was an L.A. cop. And there was a guy there dressed as O.J. Simpson at the Halloween party that Judge Ito went to. What did Judge Ito do? What do you think Judge Ito did?
I think he left, didn't
he? He left. Yes, you remember. You did follow it. He left. And the fact that Letitia James not only was there, she was laughing and she gave him a standing ovation when he came in, shows that she doesn't believe any of these things she's prosecuting him on, or she wouldn't do that. She didn't have to laugh, Steve, or give him a standing ovation.
would say that laughter is an involuntary.
If you saw it, you didn't see it, so you don't have context because they're cropping her out on TV. I watched it the whole thing on a wide screen where there was no cropping, and no, the image of that speaks. I couldn't stop watching her.
It looks very hypocritical, very hypocritical. But yeah, you got the picture of her getting up and standing, and she looked like she's having a good time.
Yeah, listening to John Gotti that she's prosecuting. Come on.
Yeah, Judgment at Nuremberg. That's what she.
Judgment at Nuremberg. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, take care. All right, appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. Steve is here. We'll be right back.
You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
See, here's the picture, guys, of, this is on my Twitter, X. You can see in the background with the red circle, that's Letitia James when President Trump is coming in. Look at that. And she's giving him a standing ovation. Look at that.
There's some fallen power cables, so be careful there. In
Look at
West
that.
Palm Beach, there's a crash at Forest Hill Boulevard, at Olympia Boulevard. There's a crash at PGA Boulevard.
Would she give a standing ovation?
And at 441 at Palmetto Park Road. And some heavy traffic on the turnpike heading northbound
To a true criminal
Road and Southern Boulevard.
that she's prosecuting? I don't think so.
It's easier to make the right calls when you have the right money. Download the Lowe's app to get their home improvement.
Look at that. Letitia James in the red circle.
Their team's expertise anytime. Download the Lowe's app to find what you need.
But he's El Chapo, she tells us.
Traffic, I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Listen to the PBKC Picks podcast live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And catch football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet and
She would at least sit there in silence.
Get this deal for free by calling 561-683-2222 extension 199. That's great food, drink specials, all the games on over 140 HD TVs and big screens every football Sunday in the Paddock. PBKC's upcoming shows include Let It Be November 8th, Jimmy Fallon
I mean, look at
November
that.
15th and 16th, and Petty Nicks.
I think that's a very
November 22nd.
significant photo.
For information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make.
By the way, guys, if you want to call in, the number to call in is pinned to the top of the live chat if you're watching live.
Located in the state of Florida for expert help this open enrollment period. 954-753-8080.
Right behind Trump, that's Martha McCallum in the white.
That's 954-753-8080.
Hey, my true oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999.
Yeah.
Or, even simpler,
That photo says a lot.
JoeThomas.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for Christmas. The standard MyPillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88 and free shipping on orders.
And look at this. This is the Poly Market predictor. Look at that. President Trump has a 60.7% chance of winning. Kamala 39.1. What a joke. Isn't that something? Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used
Things are
tires in
going
stock,
very
too,
well for
starting
us.
at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
And so Tim made those available.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. 747 here.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Call us on hold. Stand by. I wanted to play this clip for you, Steve. Tim Walz's wife did an interview yesterday, and she was talking about the tampons, and her husband, Tim Walz, her husband's thinking behind the tampons. Listen, this is who wants to be the second lady of the United States.
What else do we need in schools? And as we listened, people were having trouble accessing feminine products. And so Tim made those available in schools. I think that makes sense. I'm focused on learning. So is Tim. So is our legislature. And so we said, if this is something that distracts from learning, well, then we're going to take care of that. Why wouldn't we? Because we're interested in students learning and not being distracted by other things.
Okay, so what she's saying is distracting are boys not having access to tampons in the boys' room. That when there's tampons in the boys' room, there's no distractions, and we can focus on learning. Oh my goodness, I don't know. If all of a sudden, I don't know, when you were in high school, Steve, you went to that fancy place that President Kennedy went to, but I went to Stredahan in Cracktown. But in my high school, if they put a tampon machine in the boys' room, it would have been that's all we'd have been talking about. It would have been quite distracting. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Renee from Maryland.
Hey, Renee.
Hi. How you doing, Brian?
All right.
I really believe that Trump's going to become the first president of our lifetime to create some kind of historical context with Black American voters, because I've never seen this many Black people who are supporting Donald Trump. And despite what the media is saying, it's not just Black men, because there are a handful of Black women, such as myself, who have been supporting Donald Trump. So I really believe this is going to be...
Now, let me ask you this. I agree with you. In fact, even CNN is reporting that Donald Trump is going to get more of the Black vote than any Republican since Nixon in 1960. And people don't know this, but that was before the Civil Rights Movement really kicked off, right? And blacks were... Why are so many blacks voting Republican now, do you think?
Well, from my personal standpoint, I think it's because of the economy, because there are a lot of Black people out there who are very enterprising. I mean, we see it. I see that young man, Lawrence Jones, on Fox News. He goes to the barbershop, and he's the first responder.
Of course, what Trump has done for the Black community is, for the first time, give them a real voice. Let them know what real control is, and they appreciate it. It's freedom. They're no longer victims of the system, which is how how blacks have been.
Well, I think I agree with both of you. I think what it is this, okay? In the last few years, Democrats think all Black people are on welfare food stamps and living in Section 8 housing. Black people are middle class, upper middle class, and rich. And we have full economic equality in this country that we finally achieved after all these years of civil rights. And when people become middle class and above and become homeowners, they get fed up with paying taxes for a bunch of freeloaders. You know what I mean? And I just think that's why. I think blacks have we've got economic equality now. And it's not just that not everyone's an entrepreneur business person, but people have jobs and they have a house and a mortgage.
Yeah, we want stability in the family because the family breakdown, it's still unfortunate. It's over like 75% of young African American children who are growing up without a father in the household. So I think that's playing a part as well. And plus, a lot of people are not aware of the fact that Kamala Harris, she's still imprisoning black people because there's a young black woman by the name of Beverly Williams. And I understand that she's going to spend 3 years in a federal prison because unlawful assembly, because she went to Planned Parenthood to try to prevent black girls from aborting their children.
She did not, to my recollection of that case, she was just praying outside, pretty much.
And she was confronted by a handful of liberals, and they were all white, from the LGBT, angry feminists. They just surrounded her. I saw the videos. It's really awful. And she's crying, and she's
She's in prison. She's in prison.
Yeah, she has a young daughter. She's married. So I really hope that when Trump comes back into office, he'll suspend that sentence.
You know what I wonder? You talk about the out-of-wedlock birth. There used to be a statistic, 88% of black children are born, and I don't know if that's true anymore. There's a statistic that goes around that says 50% of marriages end in the first 3 years. That's not true. That's a statistic from the 70s when no-fault divorce first came in and everybody got divorced. Because before then, you had to have evidence and proof to get divorced. And I'm wondering if the out-of-wedlock birth in the black community, the 80% number, is that out of date? Is it much lower now?
It's really not, Brian. I have some members of my family who are going through this. I have a lot of relatives who grew up in a family household. They didn't have a father there. Believe me, it's true.
All right. Well, why do you think that is still today? If economically blacks are doing well, why is that so true?
We are doing economically well, but the Democrat Party still has a stronghold on most blacks. And unfortunately, there are a handful of them who feel that they should depend on the government. That's still the message that they're throwing us. And Kamala Harris is doing the same thing. She's offering these silly loans, marijuana. It's really insulting.
Well, and I'll tell you another thing, too. And this, I think, is factoring into some of the black vote. A lot of blacks are the reparations crowd, and they're pissed off that the illegals are getting all this free money, and they view the illegals as getting their reparations money, and they're pissed at the Democrats over it.
Yeah, and it's really sad because there are some young black women out there who really need that help. They can't help themselves. But, they get persecuted, they're insulted, but then they give it to illegals. Like a lot of these young Hispanic women, they're going through the same thing, but nobody insults them, nobody persecutes them, and they're getting the same benefits. So I think that's playing a factor as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hey, listen, you're a great caller. Thanks so much, Patrice. Take care. All right? Take care. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Stephen, Brian, JJ from Mass.
Oh, hey, JJ, before you start, I'm sorry, I want to tell everybody about Angel Water. I've had the Angel Water purification system now in my house for a month, and I've been telling people that it tastes like Fiji water, which is the high-end bottled water. JJ, I'm going to put you on hold and take your call after the break, man, all right? I apologize. I tell people it tastes like Fiji water, and I was talking, Steve, the day before yesterday to Rocky from Angel Water, and I said, I realized since all the water in my house is filtered through the Angel Water purification system before it enters the house, not only am I drinking what tastes like Fiji water, the high-end bottled water, but I'm also showering in Fiji water, right? It's amazing. Listen, call Angel Water. They're going to send Rocky out to your house at no charge and test your water. Find out if you are drinking toxic water. And by the way, I was. And not only was I drinking toxic water, my whole family was. We were drinking it, cooking with it, bathing in it, washing our dishes and clothes in it. It's crazy. Now with the Angel Water purification system, all the water is purified before it enters my home. Even, Steve, my toilet water is purified from the Angel Water purification system. But also, if I still had a dog, my dogs would have loved it because they would drink out of the toilet so much. But even my garden hoses outside, that is water that is first purified with the Angel Water purification system, which is really great because when you are, I'm washing the cars and things like that, I'm not washing them with all the toxins and poisons, and sometimes I drink out of the garden hose too. Angel Water Again, they will test your water at no charge. Find out what you and your family have been drinking with, cooking with, bathing in. And they've got a great offer for listeners of our radio station. Angel Water is going to give you a free under-the-sink reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a whole house refiner. I have both of these, the reverse osmosis system under my sink and the whole house refiner. It is amazing. I'm drinking, Steve, more water than I ever have, and I'll never buy bottled water again. Also, they're offering 12 months no-interest financing with no prepayment penalty. Give them a call, 561-899-6585. 561-899-6585 for Angel Water. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with our final gold and precious metals report of the week. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
The metals are amazing. At a 5,000-year high today. As you know,
oh my goodness!
Remember Tuesday I had predicted that we'd probably see $2,700 gold this week, and that's exactly where we're at. We're $2,715 right gold. Yesterday we saw gold trade in a range of $26.72 all the way up to $26.98, and closed up $18.30 on the day at $26.92.50. Silver remained unchanged yesterday at $31.65. Platinum was down $2 at $9.93, and palladium was up $19 at $1,028. But overnight, we saw gold trade from $26.91 on the low all the way up to $2,717. And right now, we're still at $2,715 the ounce, up $22.50. Silver up 65 cents at $32.30 the ounce. Platinum up $17 at $1,010, and palladium up $28 at $1,056. So this is a very important day. Gold closing about $2,700 today should speak very well to seeing us on the road to $3,000 gold.
Wow!
In the near future, this is a monumental time and a breakthrough that we could see some real action going forward in gold. If we get a solid 3 days of closings above 2,700, that will make 2,700 a base for us to build on, and that's pretty exciting for the.
Well, yeah, and guys, William Youngman opens up at 10 a.m. Start lining up. And everything's available for immediate delivery. When people are coming in like this week with these record highs that we're seeing in gold, what are they asking for in particular? They just coming in and say, I want to buy gold, or are they asking for anything in particular?
No, most of the time they come in with a certain amount of money they want to invest, and they walk out with the metal and the options of all the different products that we have, and then they can pick and choose what they want. But it's certainly a great time to be taking advantage of the metals, even though they are at record highs. The way that we've seen this action, we have seen very little pullbacks on these hundreds and hundreds of dollars higher that we are. And a $50 pullback is about all we've ever seen. And this is indicative of a market that wants to go much more.
Well, the big central banks around the world, gold is their money, right? They buy gold to support their fiat currencies. I mean, it's right.
It's a major player for the price of gold. They are buying gold like they haven't bought it in our lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, and they are and at this point they will own it all, except for what the citizens have the nerve to get out there and be their own central bank.
Well, now listen. Remember, no matter where you're located, you can do your transactions with William Youngerman over the phone and through the mail. And those of you that see those things online and everything, I don't know. You're paying too much for your metals. Okay, you'll get more of all the metals from William Youngerman for your money than those places that really. I mean, some of the prices, William, especially on the pre-33 that I see people advertising, it should be criminal what they're selling some of those metals for. William Youngman opens up at 10 a.m. at 1-800-327-5010. You can call him, 1-800-327-5010. His address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find both his address and phone number on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngman, it's going to be a busy day for you. We'll talk on Monday.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, we are back. That caught me off guard, Steve. I did not realize over 2,700. Remember when it was $435 the first day we met? $435. Oh my God! I know. I felt like Albert Brooks in Defending Your Life. Remember? Steve and I tell this a lot because Steve and I met with William Youngerman. He's coming on as an advertiser. Steve says, you need to start loading up on gold. I said, Steve, it's $435 an ounce. It's been around for 5,000 years. How much higher can it go? Well, so that's exactly right. It keeps going up all the time. All right, let's... hey, one of the lines Trump had last night was about, that's, making fun of yourself. He's like, oh, I'm supposed to make fun of myself a little bit. And then he said, well, he said something like, well, I'm not going to take any shots at myself since so many people have been doing that lately or something. It was hilarious. I mean, Trump was just, I'm telling you, President Trump may bring back the White House Correspondents' Dinner because the president gets to go up and do a rap. That was the funniest stand-up I've ever seen an elected official ever do last night. It was, oh my goodness. He did, the first time I saw him there was that time with Hillary, and he did very good. But I don't remember it being as funny as that. It was, I don't know, there was just something special. All right, you're on the air. Oh, yes, thanks for holding.
No problem, guys. JJ from Mass. Hey, Steve.
Yep, appreciate that.
I was thinking about something that Biden used to say, listening to the callers today, one caller in particular. Biden, when he got a little bit upset, he would look at somebody and scowl, and he would say, you don't know Jack.
Mm.
And I think we may have found Jack. It's that guy that calls in that sounds like a turtle, that talks real slow in the low tone.
Which one is that?
Might be him. I think his name is Mr. Squat. Jack, the guy that calls in.
Oh, from Sarasota? Yeah.
That Biden's talking about.
Yeah.
As far as polls go, Brian, I wanted to get that in first. But as far as polls go, have you seen the Gallup poll that came out? Steve Turley was talking about. It's the I think it's the voter identification poll or something like that. It's been over the last 4 elections. It's been within 1 point, and it's not who's going to win the election. It's who's going to win the popular vote. And the last 4 elections, it's been accurate to within 1 point, and they had Trump up in their last one, +7. That's a national poll.
When's the last time a Republican won the popular vote?
I'm just telling you, that's what they. It's not like they're not left or right. They're pretty much up in
No.
But I don't know. Do you think that's a fake? Is that a feint to try to get us to relax or something?
No, they would do it in the opposite. And I saw Kamala speaking yesterday. It was the first time I saw her after the Bret Baier interview where he just filleted her. She did not look well yesterday at all. I'm not talking about that recorded thing. That could have been done a month ago. She was embarrassed. She's humiliated.
She didn't show up?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I think one of the things I think.
Putting on a face.
Yeah, exactly. She's not very capable at all. That's one thing she's very good at, is not being capable. But I think that with regard to the black vote, brown, and just the overall, vote all over the place, Brian, I think that .7, +7 for Trump may be somewhat accurate, is that if you think about the youth that were 18 that voted in 2016 against Trump, and they got to live through what Trump did, and then they got to live through what Biden did. All those people, every single one that voted Democrat, the youth, and then the other ones that.
Well, okay, let me tell you. There's the youth vote is 2 groups, right? The millennials, but they're old. Mayor Pete is a millennial. The millennials are like 40, years old now, right? And then there's Gen Z, and Gen Z, that's like my daughter's age, like 25 and under. And the thing about the 25 and under generation, they're very entrepreneurial. A lot of them, like that Twitch streamer that went to Mar-a-Lago, he gave Trump a Cybertruck, and he gave him like a Rolex. They're the Generation Z, the generation after millennials, are very entrepreneurial, and they got a lot of things going on, like a Twitch streamer. And a guy that's a Twitch streamer or an Instagram influencer, they have small businesses going. They get 1099s from Twitch. So they got to actually pay income taxes, as opposed to millennials that are school teachers and government workers and stuff. And it's a generation that's very conservative. And the second thing is, Charlie Kirk is one of the most important people in America today. He has done such great work, Charlie Kirk, with high school and college kids over the last few years, that he has woken up. You see these things sometimes when he's sitting down debating these kids on a college campus, and a lot of people think that's just Charlie Kirk's ego. No, he's waking young people up. And Charlie Kirk has done more work than any other single person outside the Trump family to reelect President Trump than anyone else in this country.
He's built a hell of a fan base is what he's done. He's built a hell of an intelligent fan base. He argues with these kids that are in some kind of an alternate reality, but the other kids that are listening, that don't
Correct.
They want to get up in front of everybody, they hear it. I mean, to me, it's kind of like the Kevin Bacon in, Animal House, when he's at the end, he's like, everybody remain calm.
Well, let me tell you with the young people. There's always been when I was young, there were young Republicans. We called them dorks and nerds. And they look like Ben Shapiro. They wore khaki pants and penny loafers and button-up shirts, kind of like they work at a Blockbuster. What Charlie Kirk has done is made being conservative cool. You go to the college campus, those liberal girls he's debating are the fat girls that are never going to be pregnant because no one's going to have sex with them, so they become gay. The hot girls and the hot guys are Republicans. They're voting for Trump. The cool kids.
They switched.
From the dorks to the cool kids.
Yep, it's absolutely switched.
All right, take care, man. Appreciate you holding over. Now, I want to remind everyone about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. You guys should get this free doorbell camera. It connects directly to your cell phone, and they're going to give it to you free with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's, they're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. They're going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows. That's amazing, isn't it? A lifetime warranty, a backup battery, and a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bob from Jupiter.
Hey, Bob.
But real quick, hey, I think Elon Musk he's the one that's gonna bring the whole deal down, because he's in Pennsylvania making things happen. He's the smart guy in the room here. He's gonna make the deal. He's gonna put.
Did you see his town hall? Did you see his town hall in Pennsylvania yesterday?
Yes, I did.
It's beautiful.
If it's true that's going to be settled by 10,000, 20,000 votes, he's going to be the one to do it. He's going to be the one to push it over.
Oh, yeah. His town, I watched Elon Musk's town hall yesterday, which was amazing. And he said a lot of things. But one thing he said was, this election will decide the future of our civilization. And that's true. Well, yeah. Hey, appreciate the call. The thing with Elon Musk, this is so important for guys to understand. He just gave, I think, was it $75 million to the Republicans this week? And his support. Elon Musk is not just the richest man in the world. Think about it. We've got the richest man in the world behind our guy. He's also brilliant. He's got the space program and the Tesla cars. SpaceX and Tesla, which are his two primary businesses. He's got others too, but those are the two big ones. Both of them count 100% on U.S. government contracts. SpaceX, he's got a contract through NASA for the manned space flights to the space station on his spaceships. And he's opposing the sitting government for a new government. They take SpaceX away from him. Tesla, a lot of people don't like Tesla. Right? We get a hurricane here in Florida. They combust in the flames and everything. But that salesman will point out the tax break you get for buying the EV when you buy a Tesla. So some people say, well, it's worth the risk of combusting into flames, when it rains. But they could take that away from him. So for this guy to be opposing the sitting leadership of the United States, they could take his two biggest businesses away from him with the snap of their fingers. And he's backing our guy, Donald Trump. I think that says a lot. And not only that, I was talking earlier last weekend when he launched that new rocket and the rocket booster landed back on the launch pad where it took off. That was the biggest space achievement since the Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon and returned safely to the Earth again. It was amazing. We've got the richest man in the world. One of our callers the other day called him the Albert Einstein of the 21st century. What do they got? Bruce Springsteen, Molly McDonald from the video last night, and of course Julia Roberts, who's famous for playing a hooker in a movie 35 years ago. And we've got Elon Musk. Springsteen can't even the Biden, Kamala. Yeah.
Gonna change everything this generation.
That's right. All right, we're out of time for the week. I'm Brian. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. We'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. See you Monday.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.
All right, guys. Hey, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone who's already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video. All right, guys? Okay, thanks for watching. I'll be back all weekend long. Okay, so don't worry. Take care.